And we are live.
And greetings, everybody. How's my audio? We got some audio coming? I don't hear it coming back on
Yeah,
me.
there we go.
There we got some audio. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the RV Show USA, our pre-show show. We always kind of give you the rundown 6 minutes before the actual radio program begins. I'm Alan Warren, the RV guy. This is my producer, Goose.
Hello.
And every Wednesday night we do this show live from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And then this program actually is syndicated nationally and runs in different markets across the country on the weekends, on Saturdays and on Sundays. But you guys get a chance to see it live as we do it. Facebook does not allow us to do commercials on the Facebook Live. Nope. So during the commercial breaks, you're going to see Goose and me sitting here. We'll be visiting with y'all, answering questions, making some comments, maybe sharing some ideas about appetizers and snacks and all kinds of cool stuff for the upcoming game. I'm not much into the game, I guess, this year, but
the big game.
But I am into snacks. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Snacks
so am
and
I.
eating. I'm good at both of them. So.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, this is the pre-show show. We go live at exactly 6 minutes after the hour. A couple of things. First off, let's see. We've got some T-shirts to give away.
Yes, we
What
do.
you got? We have some more T-shirts to give away. Here's what you do. You need to like this video. Make sure you just click the like button right now, and then participate. Post comments, questions, etc. These are really good, nice T-shirts. They're expensive ones. They're not going to shrink up on you. The colors are going to hold. They've got Big Chief RV Resort on the back of it and the RV Show USA on the front of it. And we cannot cheat. You cannot cheat. But the only way you can win is by participating and making comments, maybe submitting questions, and we'll get to you during the program. So the more you comment, the better your chances are of winning. Here's what happens. Goose is shaking up some numbers. Now, it's really, let's just hang on, go slow. When we finish the show tonight, we have to close it up and click post. When we click post, it takes a couple of seconds, and then the show is up on Facebook. Go back to this feed and click on real-time comments. What? So click on real-time comments, and what we're doing is we're going to hold out. What happened?
There are people who don't necessarily want this shirt.
They want your shirt.
No.
What do they want?
They want that shirt.
They want this shirt. You can't have this shirt. All right, so here's what happens is at the end of the show, we pick out some numbers that are we've written them down on a bunch of pieces of paper. Hang on, let me see. We're going to dump them out here on the table,
okay.
and then we're going to open a couple of, don't show them, we're going to open a couple of them up, and if your comment is closest to that time without going over, like the
Price is Right.
Price is Right, then you are the winner of the T-shirt. So have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, hold on. That's true.
What?
Now, they have to tell us. They have to contact the RV
Yeah,
Show
you've got to
USA
contact
let
us. So the deal is
Claim
jump
your
back
prize.
on. A lot of you won't stay for the full 2 hours. Shame on you. We'd love you to stay for 2 hours. But if you can't, make sure you make some comments. And then when the show is over, you can do it tonight. You can do it tomorrow. But go to the very end of the program, right at about the 2-hour mark, and you'll see the times. We'll hold up the numbers. And then just back time and see if you're the person that is closest without going over. And then we'll see, send us a note, send us your address, send us your shirt size, and we will get you a T-shirt in the mail. Promise you. All right, so got a great show for you tonight. We've got a singer-songwriter that is extraordinary. She is going to lead us off tonight at 7 p.m. Her name is Audrey Callahan. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to be talking with RV Nana from PPL Motorhomes, and we're going to be talking about some safety things. And I think it's pretty important because, we're getting ready to go. Everybody's going to go on spring break and start using their RVs. We're going to talk about RV safety. Top of hour 2, we've got my buddy Keith Coast. And Keith is an entertainer. He's a magician. He's a comedian. He's a musician, and he's an all-around great guy. We're going to have him on. He's also a full-time RVer. Then at the bottom of hour number 2, we've got my buddy who is Garrett Auclair, and Garrett has it's the most unbelievable RV security system you have ever seen. It's like you see security systems in a smart home. He's got them for RVs, and we're going to talk about that. So great show. Make sure you comment a lot. Like this video. Hit the share button so your friends know that you're watching the RV Show USA. Let them know about it. We've got about 1:05 until we go into the show, so I got to jump back in here and look at my notes. Have any of y'all been to barbecue cook-offs? Any big barbecue cook-offs? I went to one over the weekend. It was amazing. I couldn't believe how many RVs I saw. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit here in just a few minutes. And also during the show tonight, I'd like you to say if you have a favorite snack or an appetizer that you like to make and eat that's not too difficult to make, post it. Let us know about it because I'm going to give you a couple of my favorite recipes later on tonight, and it doesn't matter if it's a Super Bowl or just a bunch of people hanging out at the RV park, campground, but they're really good recipes. We'd like to know yours. All right, what you got?
Do you have a pick, real quick, for
Do I
the
have a
game
what?
on Sunday? Do you have a pick?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not a big sports guy, so.
All right, here we go.
All
Okay,
right.
5 seconds.
Ready to go?
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America, let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV across this great land. So buckle up now. What do you say? The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
It's time for the RV Show USA with Alan Warren, the RV guy, and America's only radio show about the RV lifestyle. If you enjoy travel, fun, and adventure, well, welcome aboard, everybody.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
One and all, how's everybody doing? Here in the studio, we're talking about food. I'm getting a little bit hungry. Tell you why in just a second. So welcome to the RV Show USA, everybody. I'm Alan Warren, the RV guy, and this past weekend I had a real eye-opening experience, and it was at a barbecue cook-off in San Antonio. It's for me pretty amazing on many levels. Apparently the San Antonio barbecue cook-off is one of the biggest in the state of Texas, and it always takes place right before the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo begins. And without boring you with all kinds of details, it looked like an RV convention, like a RV convergence. I guarantee you there must have been 1,000 RVs and trailers out there, maybe more. Supposedly they are competing for prizes in different categories. You know what it was like? It was kind of like going to an RV park where everybody is really friendly. That's the way it was at the barbecue cook-off. But I was blown away at how many RVers are into these competitions. I mean, the event took place like over 2 or 3 days, and let me just say this. If you own any stock in beer companies, you probably made some pretty good money this last weekend. I wonder if anybody listening is into barbecue cook-offs. If you are, we'd love to visit with somebody here on the show about it, maybe on a future episode. I found it to be very, very interesting. All right, so welcome to the RV Show USA, everybody. Today we got a great lineup. Our first guest is a young lady that loves RVing, and as you're going to find out, she is one talented performer. Let's say howdy to Audrey Callahan. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing just great. So before we get into what you are so incredibly talented at, tell us about RVing and how you got interested in RVing and camping, Audrey.
Oh my gosh, it just happened so organically, and that's what I'm hearing when I'm talking to a lot of other people. My husband and I are naturally travelers. We grew up in military families. He was born in Sicily. I lived in Egypt for 3 years, would spend summers in Peru. We met in Mexico. So when we got together, it was just natural for us to want to move around all the time, but we did it the old school way, which we would just get an apartment in a new city and and go do that route, which takes a lot of effort. So we were in Austin, Texas, renting a house, and it was, a year. Our lease was coming up, and we could either renew or stay there another year, and we were getting that itch to move again. We're like, what do? We don't want to buy a house and settle down. We've gone that route before, and we just didn't like being tied down to a mortgage. We wanted the freedom, and then I somehow stumbled across the RVing idea, and so when Shane got home that night, we plopped in front of the TV, turned on YouTube, and tried to see if we could find any videos, because YouTube has everything, and I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of videos on YouTube about people talking about this lifestyle, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is possible. And so that was the start of it, and ever since we made the decision to do it, everything just kind of fell into place, the RV, the truck, everything.
So are y'all are now full-time RVers?
We are. We left August 9th. We took her on the road for the first time and never went back. We left from Texas.
That's awesome. So
I guess
5
it's
months.
almost 6 months.
Yeah,
Almost
it
6
hasn't
months.
been long, but it sounds like you're still having fun. And so our mutual friends, John and Laura Hebert, I guess they were out at the Escapers Convergence out there in Arizona.
Yeah.
You were out there with them. What was that like?
I freaking love them. So that was our first social camping experience. Ever since we hit the road back in August, we've done a lot of boondocking. So we've just been, out in the middle of a pine tree forest, just me and Shane. And I think that's a bit of the lure when you go RVing, is that absolute freedom. But then after a while, we're like, wow, we haven't seen people in a long time. So then we're actually part of this movie that I'm sure we'll eventually talk about, but Open Road RV Nomads. And so a bunch of the cast was getting together at the Escapers Convergence, and they were like, hey, if you're in the area, we'd love for you guys to come out and do a photo shoot, some promo. So we did. We went out there and met up at American Girl Mine in Winter Haven, California, and we all formed a little circle with our RVs, and it was so much fun. They had karaoke night and, chili cook-offs and all this stuff. At one point, we had, 15 of us in our friend's RV, which is huge and could fit all of us, and it was so fun. It felt like having a little neighborhood just on the go.
So how is RVing better than you thought it was going to be? It sounds like you're really excited about it. Is it what you thought it was going to be? Is it better? How is it better?
It's way better. It's better. I guess you can't really put into words the kind of freedom you experience on the road, having never experienced it before. The idea that we could technically go anywhere was a nice idea in theory, but literally it was like one day, it was Friday or something, and I'd never been to the Grand Canyon before. We were supposed to be going to Mexico that morning, and it didn't work out, which is another long story. So we're like, well, okay, here we are, now what? And I'm like, I've never seen the Grand Canyon, let's go. And literally a couple hours later, I'm standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, and that kind of freedom was just, it's hard to describe. It's my most favorite part about RVing, is being able to just get up and go at any time.
You are just so enthusiastic. I love hearing somebody with so much passion. So let's talk about your music, because that's what you really love. Tell us about your background and what do you do, Audrey?
Yeah, so my background, I grew up singing ever since I was around 2 years old. There's videos of me singing and dancing. My dad is an amazing musician. He plays guitar like nobody's business, and he can sing, and he taught me how to do harmonies. But he loved to do classic rock and, couldn't hit those high notes of Queen and Journey and Led Zeppelin and all that. So that was my job. So growing up, I feel like that's really where I got all of my vocal ability, was just singing those big songs. And so I grew up with my dad doing music, and I just never thought that I could make it a career. That seemed like a pie-in-the-sky kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I never really pursued it. I got a normal job, went to school for normal things, and just kind of put that on the back burner and sang at karaoke. And, I had little bands here and there, but never anything big until about 2014, so 4 years ago. I decided, you know what, because we had ran a business, my husband and I, up until that point for many years. We left corporate America in 2009, worked for ourselves from home, and I was like, if this is possible for me to start a business in this field, doing web development, why can't I start it for my actual passion, which is music? So I did. So I hit the ground running, and ever since then, it's been really great. I have an album coming out in about 2 weeks. I have a single coming out around that time, too. I've been doing campfire sessions, is what we're calling it. I've been singing for RVers around campfires and, booking little gigs along the way and building a following, and it's just growing, and it's getting to the point I would love for it to take over 100% and fund me on the road.
Folks, her name is Audrey Callahan. She is, as you can tell, she's an enthusiastic, passionate RVer, and she is one amazing singer. And Audrey, you're also a songwriter as well.
I am. Yeah, I've been to a couple songwriting camps. I've never taken professional training, but, Google, School of Google is what I like to call it. So I've watched lots of YouTube videos, and it just hits me every time. Every song I wrote on this album that's coming out, I would be driving in a car or going through something and sitting, in a field somewhere, and it just comes to me. Like, literally, I just start singing the chorus of my song. I can't even, pinpoint how it happens, and then it all just comes together. So, it's so therapeutic to get my emotions and thoughts and everything out in that way, and be able to connect with others in that way has been so rewarding. having people sing your songs and get the messages and being able to connect on it and talk with them about their goals and dreams, and it's so rewarding.
Now, before you were an RVer, were you a songwriter then, or did you just become a songwriter? And are you finding it easier or more difficult to write songs now that you're traveling and living this lifestyle of freedom and adventure?
I was a songwriter before, and I'm finding it even easier to do on the road, because before, when I would write my songs, it would be all my experiences, and that's what this initial album is about, is kind of the daring to dream, daring to go there in your mind, daring to take a leap of faith. And now I'm actually doing it, so it's a whole nother evolution, and the songs are just coming to me in a new way. And the videos have been so fun, because before I would have to drive to some location like 3 hours away and film it, and if I didn't get my film, then oh well, then that video might suck, or I might put up a green screen and superimpose a background. But now my videos are made with the most amazing natural backdrops, because it's my real life. You know, I just film my life as we do it, you know, setting up the trailer, breaking it down, driving here and there, climbing a mountain, and I put it all to me singing, and it just works out so much better. And we get all the memories, which is nice.
And is Shane, I guess he's part of the music business with you?
He recently came on in a managerial / business system sense. He's never been involved in a big way. When we hit the road, because I don't have my dad to play guitar for me anymore, so, and he plays guitar, but he's a closet guitarist. He was nervous to do it in front of people, so he never did. And since we hit the road, he saw me, you know, struggling to figure out how I'm going to sing for people when I don't have a guitarist. I picked up a loop station, which has been fun, so I can create songs on the spot just using my voice.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, the guitar just adds a certain element. So he finally agreed like a week ago. It was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to be your guitarist. I'm hopping into the music business. Let's do this. So yeah, he's in it now.
Awesome. Audrey, we've got to jump for a hard break. You can hang on for one more segment, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, folks. Audrey Callahan, we got her for one more segment. We'll be right back with the RV Show USA. I want to.
So your shirt's a topic of conversation tonight.
What?
Your shirt happens to be a topic of conversation.
This air conditioner is going to be a topic of conversation.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
How do you do this? Oh, hang on. It's 74 degrees. I should have worn my shorts. All right, what y'all thinking? Audrey is pretty good, isn't she? She's very shy, very bashful. If you have not yet subscribed to her YouTube channel, take a minute and do it. You will. You can, as they say, thank me later. She is amazingly talented. I want to ask her about a song that she wrote and performed called "Dare to Dream." Also, want to ask everybody: does anybody out there that's watching have a Class B motorhome? Anyone? Anybody know much about Class Bs? I know that they're super popular. Class Bs are the smallest of the motorhome family.
You would think
But,
Class Cs would be.
No, well, don't ask me. I just know Class Bs are the smallest of the motorhome family, but I went on a factory tour this week. Unbelievable. Make sure everybody, Goose is holding the t-shirt. We're going to give away some of these. We're going to give away some of these t-shirts on tonight's show, so make sure you make comments, you like this video, and the more you post comments and questions, the better your chances are of winning one of our shirts.
Because at the end of the show, we're going to pull out time codes based on when this video started to when this video ends. And after the show's over, go back and see if your comment was the closest to that time code without going over. And if it was, you let us know by shooting a message to facebook.com/TheRVShowUSA. So make sure to do that.
All right, so the other thing is, I want to see some recipes. What you like to eat for Super Bowl? What you like to make? You got an appetizer, a snack, a favorite snack during the show? Kind of, you know, I always like to steal somebody's good recipe. So if you got something, let me know. I'm going to share a couple of my recipes a little bit later on. I see that we got PPL Motorhomes on with us. My friend Kelly Beasley. What's happening, Kelly?
The RV Chickadee's with us as well.
That's Kelly Beasley.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you who won, but if you won and you know who that you won,
you've got to come back. Seriously, you've got to come back again at we got a minute and a half.
Got a minute.
All right, so here's what happens. When the show is finished tonight, we click post.
Yes.
Once it posts, come back on and click on real-time comments. And then you'll see the actual time when people are commenting. And we've got these numbers that are here in this
Time
a
codes.
bunch of these numbers, and we're going to hold them up. And if your comment is the closest to the running time number,
Without going over.
without going over, then you win one of our shirts. And we're working on getting some other great prizes from sponsors. And so, anyway, thank y'all for being with us. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button. What?
Smoked Gouda cheese dip. That sounds good.
That does sound good.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
So again, if you
Okay, Dawn, no good. You can't just say it. You have to show it. You got to give the recipe. That sounds too good.
Oh,
Okay, you just buy it. Who makes it?
possibly.
You know, it needs to come in a bucket if I'm going to eat it. Hot
Telling
wings.
you.
I want to see them. What does it say? Oh, great.
Making Alan special pretzels.
Okay,
So there's that. Yes, sir.
here we go. Okay, next week.
Yep, we're doing it. Okay.
Okay. Got another little technical issue, boys and girls.
Oh boy.
All right, don't get thrown in jail, and you know what I'm talking about.
Again, we want recipes, and also, if you've had a Class B, what has been your experience? But more with Audrey as the RV show in USA rolls on.
So what else could you ask for? Don't even need a passport to see the whole world from our living room. So come on, hitch your wagon to the happiness we're dragging. If we can't bring you to our house, we'll bring our house to you. If we can't bring you to our house, we'll bring our house to you.
And we are back with the RV Show USA with the lady that actually sang that beautiful song, Audrey Callahan. So, Audrey, that's a cover song you did, but you did another beautiful song that you wrote called Dare to Dream. And you mentioned it earlier in the last segment, but tell us about that song because I just think it's fabulous.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that song was the beginning of everything for me. There's something very powerful about daring to go there in your mind about something. You can sit and, think about something and wish on it and hope on it, but when you start actually making those plans, writing them down, daring to dream your wildest dreams, they actually start to come true, which is what I'm experiencing right now. So that was the beginning of everything for me, and I started a Dare to Dream movement when I launched that song and asked everyone to write down, if money weren't an issue, what would you do with your life? Write that down. And a lot of them still have that hanging on their walls to this day and are working towards it. And it's just such an important message to me personally that I know a lot of people can relate to.
And did you just come up with the idea? I mean, it's such a beautiful theme. It's so upbeat and it's just uplifting. Did you just come up with that?
I did. It just comes to me. It's like a download. Because I was just going through so much of my life at that point, and I just really wanted this music thing to happen. And I was focusing on what wasn't going right, and I'm like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to focus on what I want. I'm going to dare to dream. And I started just getting really proactive about it and showing a lot of gratitude. And I don't know, I was just sitting there, and it came to me. And so I started feverishly writing it down, and that song happened, I want to say, in like a matter of hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we're going to talk more about music in a second, but let's go back to the Open Roads RV Nomad movie because so many people are talking about it, and you've got to just be super excited to be involved in this thing.
I'm so excited. It's like the RV life couldn't get any better until I reached out to this company and shared my story with them, and they're like, yes, we want to have you in the cast, and it's just, to get this story out there on such a grand scale is amazing. And then being able to meet all the people, the RV community is just so welcoming and supportive, and everybody has these amazing stories. And so getting to connect with everybody and getting inspired by them, so many of them are funding their life and their travels by, filming videos and doing the YouTube thing and just being authentic and living their truest life. And it's just unfolding so beautifully. So it's so inspiring being around them and being able to be in my first documentary and contributing some music to it. And I don't know how much I can say on that front, but there's just really exciting things regarding my involvement with the movie, and I'm just so excited.
What would you say to people who may be curious about the RV lifestyle, no matter what age they are? You guys are really young, but there's a lot of people that have waited their entire lives to save up some money to start living their dreams. What advice would you give them about RVing and the RV lifestyle? I know you've only been doing it for almost 6 months now, but, that dare to dream attitude, what would you tell people?
I would say that, there's no time like the present. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. If this is something that you really want to do, it's totally possible. I had all these fears surrounding taking off. I would wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, I don't know where I'm going to be, in the next week. I'm literally going to be in a dirt lot somewhere. Like, I have no idea. I know it's kind of frightening at first, but once we got into it, it's really easy and it's so fun. Like, I woke up my first night, I woke up in a new location and I got to my desk, my computer like normal, and I opened up my blinds, but I had a completely different backyard. Like, it's insane. If anyone has an inkling to do it, just do it. And if you don't like it, then great. You spend a year on the road, see some awesome sights, and then you can always move on to something else. But there's no time like the present. You're never guaranteed tomorrow. You just got to do it.
There's such a wide cross-section of people, too, and it seems to me, when you and I spoke a couple of days ago, that, you don't talk politics. There's like these unwritten rules, this code of behavior, where people just flat get along when they're RVers.
Yeah, it's interesting. Last night we had a bunch of people over for a little musical fireside session, and everybody from different walks of life. And I've had a lot of those experiences around the fire where it just works. Everybody is so happy, and so many of them have been on the road, anywhere from like 1 year, 2, 3, 5, and it's all the same. They're loving life, they're loving the travels, and they have nothing but, positive or in-depth things to talk about, the stars that we get to see that we never see in the city, or some amazing mine that we got to check out, or it's just the conversations are just so awesome.
You've got to have, in 6 months of full-time RV living, you've got to have one or two experiences that are like, oh, no, what are we going to do now? Give me one of those, Audrey.
Okay, well, everybody has a poop story, so I guess I can stay away from that one.
No. Well, poop is an okay word, but we can't go a whole lot further than that.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'll just share it. When we got on the road, we noticed that everybody splits their roles. The women would be inside taking care of that, and the men would be outside, setting up and breaking down the outside. And me and Shane were like, no, we're going to do this together. We're going to be a team. But there's just certain things that people are better or worse at. And, he knows all the tools and things, and he'll be setting something up, and I'll bring him a tool I think he needs, and that's not the one he needs, and it just slows everything down. And so I was trying to be helpful, and I went to go do the dump tank, and there's this long hose that you got to do and some hookups, and I misunderstood the situation, and I didn't hook it up correctly. And let's just say there was a waterfall of poo that went we were in a really open area with cement. There was nobody around. It was fine, but, Shane was like, go inside and just work on that. And so I was like, okay, sorry. So I went inside and he, dealt with it. And so we've split our roles since then. And it's not to say that I couldn't do it. I totally can. I'm blaming the faulty hose for it. It was a cheap hose we bought from Walmart. But, I'd say just, listen to what you're inclined to do and what you're good at and just stick to that.
But you know what? We're going to all have those moments, those things that are going to happen to us. And to me, that's sort of like the spice in life. You look back on it, at the time, you don't like what's going on, but it makes for really good story material, doesn't it? Maybe a song even.
Oh my gosh, I should.
You should do that, because I think people could contribute little lines in their stories. You could have we don't even want to go there. You wouldn't want to make the poop song, I don't think so.
Yeah, not a poop song, but maybe a poop happens song, and talk about all the different things that could go wrong, but it's okay.
All right, listen, Audrey Callahan, we've got a lot of people that are listening that want to know about your YouTube channel. How do they find out more about you and follow along in your career? Because I know, young lady, you are going places.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can type in Audrey Callahan on YouTube. If you type in just the URL, it's youtube.com/Audrey Music. And I make travel music videos, so every location I go to, I film like crazy, and I sing a song, and I put them together, and I release it so that you can travel along on our journey.
And you've got some other YouTube videos. The one, the one I talked to you about the other day, it was one voice, or what was it, 9 voices, one girl, or...
Yeah. Yes, I do impersonations. I do dabble in the cover art, so I love making a cappella videos as well, where there's a bunch of me singing one song, all kinds of stuff. And, I'll take requests and things like that, too. So, yeah, I'd love to see everyone over on my YouTube page.
Awesome. We're going to send everybody over there. We've got to start wrapping it up. Tell us we can connect with you in the next month or two. Can we do that?
Yes, I'd say YouTube is the best, and Facebook. I check those very often, and we'll be heading up to Vegas next. We'll be there for a month, so if anybody is in Vegas, let me know, because I do little fireside sessions as we move along, live musical concerts.
Thank you for being with us. We do appreciate you and Shane. Travel safely, and best of luck with your career. We'll talk again.
Okay. See ya.
Adios, Audrey.
Bye.
Audrey Callahan, folks, what an amazing talent. I'm telling you, check out her music videos. Listen to her voice. There's a lot of people out there with good voices, but none, I don't think, a whole lot better than Audrey Callahan. We got RV Nana on deck right after this. Y'all hang on. Well, the Big Chief's gone crazy at Lake Buchanan.
All right, so yeah, Audrey.
So Audrey was great, huh?
Yeah,
What'd you think?
She's awesome. Hello, Steve. And who is it? Pal Hannah?
Pal Hannah Travels.
Pal Hannah.
We're going to say Pal Hannah.
We got Matthew.
Could be Paul Hannah Travels, but...
Patty. Any first-timers tonight? Anybody watching for the first time? If you are, let us know, and let us know where you're watching from. This is a 2-hour radio show. This actual program that we do live, we don't do any editing.
Nope.
We're in a commercial break
Suckers.
right now. And so this show will actually air on radio stations nationally on Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend, but y'all get to see
How?
what happens tonight.
So, I have a question.
What?
Without looking at your screen, what is Lisa's favorite part of Vegas?
Being
Yes.
with me.
Because
I'm
she says she
sure.
loves Vegas.
It's being with me.
She's with
Of
you every
course.
day.
That's her sentence. She came back. She came back. And they said you're going to be stuck to him.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Did
know.
y'all
What's your
get
favorite-
married in Vegas? Because that would be appropriate.
No. All right. So let's see. Thank you, Audrey. I mean,
Thank you for
you're,
coming.
You're an awesome
That was
interview
great.
too. I can't wait to meet you in person and get you back on the air pretty quick. All right. You know what you need to do, Audrey? You
What
need to
does Audrey
call
need to
back up. She needs to call and sing karaoke,
Next
our
time-
theme song.
Oh,
Next
my
time we're going to
goodness.
make you sing the RV Show USA theme song.
Okay. You know what we need
I
to
don't
do?
think we're going to have to twist her arm very
You
hard.
know what we need to do?
What's that?
We need to get a lot of our former guests, our alumni, if you will, over to Big Chief RV Camping Resort.
Oh,
It's a
that'd be
nice
fun.
little.
We have a
We
concert
can do
over there.
we can do a Facebook Live roundtable.
Yeah. All right. We got RV Nana coming up.
I need to go make a phone call. Hopefully it's the right number this time.
Okay, let's don't even go there. Once again, we're giving away a T-shirt, couple of T-shirts tonight. If you want to have a chance to win, you need to post comments and questions here. The only people that cannot win are family members and sponsors. They cannot win, but anybody else can. So post your comments, questions. Make sure you like our page.
I'm very happy about that.
Hit the share button.
All right.
At the end of the show,
Awesome.
here's what happens.
So I almost
At the
I
end of the
almost
show,
asked you for
we
the
push
number at the
stop
front,
and
but I
post.
did not.
The show is then
All right, so
posted.
we got about 90 seconds.
Log
left.
back onto
Take a
Facebook
break,
and click
and
on
then
real-time
we'll be with you
comments.
For, 6.
You know how it'll start at 0 and then 30
Yeah.
seconds, 45, all the way through 2 hours. Wherever your comments land, we're going to pull some numbers out of here
Woohoo!
and we're going to post them. If your comment is closest to the numbers we pull out of our fancy hopper here, then you get to win a T-shirt. We're going to send it to you.
The Jeff Branning Cup.
The Jeff Branding Cup, but you've got to claim your prize. So we're not going to reach out to you.
Nope.
You got to jump back on and see if you're the winner. It's real easy.
We're busy. Sorry. If you want the shirt, you gotta let us know.
What?
Nothing.
You know, I could take it. I don't think so.
No.
That's not
No.
We've already been talking about poo, and we're not going to talk. We're not doing this.
No, we're not.
No,
'Cause
we're
then
not.
we'll be talking about vomit.
All right. Very good. All right. What kind of snacks? Let's talk snacks, guys. Anybody talking about Class B motorhomes? Anybody into Class Bs? I'd like to know. Anybody thought about a Class B?
So we need snack recipes. We need good old football snacking
Okay.
recipes, and we need to know your thoughts, your issues, your great stories about Class Bs.
All right, we're coming up pretty quick.
RV Nana's joining us next right here as the RV Show USA rolls on.
The RV Show USA.
And welcome back to the RV Show USA, the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle, where we welcome each one of y'all, and especially our new listeners up in Northeast Ohio in the Youngstown, Warren, and Niles part of the Buckeye State, listening to 1540 AM WYCL, our newest affiliate. We are glad to be a part of y'all's team. Thank you so much. Speaking of team, one of our team members is the lady that's on deck right now. She's known by her friends and everybody in the RV world as RV Nana from PPL Motorhomes right here in Texas. Welcome back to the show, RV Nana.
Hey, guys, how are you tonight?
We're doing great. Appreciate you being on, spending some more time with us. So springtime may not be officially here, but it is a little bit warmer than it was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, my gosh, the last 2 days in Houston have been Chamber of Commerce days. It's just beautiful, beautiful. Perfect time to go RVing.
Are people out working on their RVs, getting them ready for springtime? And
I think they are, but it's a little early, you know. We'll find out about the groundhog tomorrow, remember? So we'll see what happens there.
So what kinds of things are you seeing at PPL? A lot of people coming in for anything in particular, or is it just kind of run the gamut?
I think basically what you're seeing is people have got a little bit of spring fever. We were all cooped up with the sleet and the snow and the ice, and now that we've got some nice weather, everybody's got that RV fever. They're ready to get out there and go, and I bet you're seeing that even at the RV park with people wanting to make those reservations for plans to get away.
Heck yeah, things are really, really busy. They are hopping for sure. Now, before the weather gets too hot down here in Texas, it would seem like to me this would be a good time of year to do some of those things that we might have been putting off all winter long on the RV. What do you think?
Oh, it's a great time. And actually, when it's a little cooler or these 65, 70-degree days, that's the perfect time to get up on the roof and check your roof. Check it for any cracks in the caulk along the edge. Make sure that the vents are all okay. You didn't have a problem over the winter that, surprise, 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 you're going to find later. I call it thumping the vents. If you can thump it with your finger and it cracks, then it's time to replace it, is what it amounts to. And even the air conditioner up top, you need to make sure that the fins are all open and they haven't been, the wind or hail or something hasn't crushed them. There's just a lot of little spring maintenance things to do.
How often do you suggest that people get on top of their RV Nana, when just to check for these things? Because I know a lot of people that don't do it for years.
Well, I believe that you need to have your roof resealed every couple of years, or at least inspected every couple of years. When you think about it, Alan, you are baking that RV in the sun. It's 100 degrees plus sometimes here in Texas. Then we just had it freezing a few weeks ago. Then you're driving it down the road, and I know all the Texas roads are perfect. There's never a chug hole anywhere.
Right.
But you have things that are going to happen, and you just need to be proactive on repairs.
And now's a good time of year to do it, I would think. It's not too hot. You can get in there. You can get underneath your RV. Well, and what about maybe some possible plumbing leaks from all this cold weather that we had, over the winter, from December through January, it seems like?
Everybody needs to turn on their water, but turn it on slowly. And as you do, have somebody with you to check inside. Remember, some of these pipes are all running through the walls, and you want to watch, because if your RV was parked on an area that the north wind was hitting it, you may have a broken pipe somewhere, even though you think you drained it. So just make sure you don't want surprises. It's better to be cautious.
I think there's a lot of times we just kind of take things for granted, here in Texas, especially because we don't have to winterize our RVs most of the time, at least in South Central Texas. And then we get a big freeze or two like we've had this year, and all of a sudden we're looking at some expensive repair bills that could have been taken care of if we would just been proactive, like you said.
Oh, it is. People just don't even think about it. Even people who, they go, well, it's covered. Well, covered didn't protect it from the wind and the cold. In Houston, we were 2 days under freezing, and that's enough to freeze those pipes.
Wow. Well, I assume that a lot of new RVs have warranty issues. I'm wondering about advice. When people buy a brand new RV, how far do you think they should roam from home? Should they have their first camp out in their driveway, or?
I have heard more people do that, and I've actually had my first camp out in a driveway. When I bought the Winnebago View, my first weekend, I set it all up, and I was out here, and I said, okay, I'm just going to see how everything's going to work. I believe that you should try to make your first shakedown cruise, as I call it, within about an hour of home. Think about it, that you don't have everything that you have at home with you, and you're going to find out that weekend what you need and what you don't need on there. And you're also going to learn how to pack it, what to pack, what not to pack. And I will remind everybody, you aren't going to a third world country. You don't have to pack enough for a month. You really don't.
All right, RV Nana, hang on. We got to jump for a break, and we'll pick back up on the other side, all right?
Sounds great.
Good deal. We got RV Nana, Diana LeBlanc from PPL Motorhomes on with us for another segment. When we come back, we're going to get onto the subject of braking safety for those who have a tow vehicle behind their motorhome. There's a lot to know about right here on the RV Show USA. I want to.
Oh, man. So,
Time
Matthew,
flies when you're having fun.
Matthew has a question. What's the number one thing you should look at during the first shakedown cruise? Or during the shakedown?
You look at everything. Well, we'll probably talk about this, but my suggestion is have a legal pad and a pen and use it, and make notes. You know, don't. I wouldn't take the whole family with you. You're gonna have so many distractions. You won't be able to focus on things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of moving parts in the RV. This is Al Pierce. Did Al make a comment about that?
I don't know.
Al, thank you very much. I'm going to open them on Super Bowl weekend, all right? So you'll see me post a little picture. Speaking of that, we've got some, I've got 2 recipes I'm going to give y'all.
Yeah.
2 of my favorite recipes for Super Bowl snacks that they're the
Big
best.
game snacks.
Big game snacks, whatever.
Yeah.
Football, baseball, it don't matter. Just big old snacks.
NFL's kind of,
I've
locked down that trademark, man.
oh, really?
Yeah.
You can't even say the word.
You don't really want to use it for commercial purposes at all.
Unbelievable.
That's why you never see the sale. It's always come in for the big game or get your stuff ready for the big game, stuff like that. But Patty has said, thanks to this show,
Yes.
we've been looking at visiting Texas to camp.
Yes.
Texas was not on our radar much. We are checking campgrounds out. So we help people learn about Texas
We do.
or want to come to Texas.
You know what, Patty? If you like to, how much time we got?
2.5.
All right. One of our good sponsors is called AGS Publications, AGS. And they also make the Texas Campground Guide. It's a travel guide to the state of Texas. And they're absolutely free of charge if you subscribe to our free online newsletter. So if you jump on our website right now, hit the subscribe button and fill out the information. We do not sell your information to anybody. We don't bombard you with a bunch of junk. The very last question is, would you like us to send you one of these great taco catalogs? And there's hundreds, literally hundreds of RV parks. There's a Super Saver card in here. When you open it up, you get to learn about PPL Motorhomes. And obviously, we've got RV Nana from PPL on the line with us. But it's great. Again, it's free, so everybody likes free.
Now, of course,
Go to our website, thervshowusa.com. Put "the" on it, thervshowusa.com. Hit subscribe, and it's the last question. Let us know where you want to send it, and we'll get it out to you.
Now, of course, if you have an RV or want to stay in a cabin, one of the best places to go in the state is right up the road from San Antonio in a little place called Burnett, Texas. There you will find the Big Chief RV and camping resort. It's right here, run by Mr. RV Guy and RV Gal themselves. So, if you're going to be in Texas anyway, and you're a fan of the show, might as well go down there, and hey, you just might see the RV Guy and the RV Gal there and be able to shake their hand.
And make sure right now you hit the like button and
share it,
and make comments, because the more you comment on tonight's show, the better your chances are of winning one of these T-shirts. Mm-hmm. Steve, did you get your shirts?
And Alan too. I don't know. Alan's saying he's waiting on his too.
Alan
Brady, I think it is.
I don't remember Alan.
Alan Berry. Alan Berry is what it is.
Alan, were you the one? I'm not sure. Somebody said that they thought that they won, but you were in the wrong hour on the time clock. If that's the one I'm thinking about, I have 5 messages here. Hold on. Let me just.
Oh my goodness.
What I'm doing.
Somebody is quite the busy person.
Oh boy.
Okay, here we so what anything
No, it's it's more of the same.
More of the same?
All right. 5 seconds, but
so more of RV Nana next as the RV Show USA rolls on. God damn it.
Living the RV dream today.
All right, we're back with the RV Show USA and Diana LeBlanc, more commonly referred to as RV Nana from PPL Motorhomes, and she's a regular here on the show. RV Nana, I understand that you've got the latest PPL parts and accessories catalogs out now. You going to be giving some out at the Houston RV Show next week?
Most definitely. We'll have cases of them out there to give out to everybody, and We will be shipping them out to you. If you go online to pplmotorhomes.com, we're happy to send one to you wherever you are. And, of course, we deliver parts to your door, whether it's in a campground or a stick-and-brick home.
Yeah, and these are big old catalogs, folks. They're like dream catalogs. You will absolutely want one. You can get them for free, again, on the PPL website or at the Houston RV Show while supplies last. So I have a question for you, RV Nana. If I have a used RV and I'm thinking of selling it, or maybe and considering having PPL consign it, to PPL, have y'all sell it for me, would the RV show there in Houston be a good place for me to come and at least talk with somebody about it, or is that not the right venue? Do I need to come out to your dealership there?
I think it would be much better for you to come on out to the dealership. The RV show is a great RV show. It's a great afternoon of getting to see what's in the industry, what's the newest and greatest. But if you're really thinking about selling your RV and you aren't going back into another one, or you already have the other one, I wouldn't spend the money to go out there, park, and everything else. If you can come on over, and we'll appraise it right there for you and give you an idea of what we feel it's worth in the market.
And you won't waste any time doing it. These RV shows, there's so much going on, so many distractions. I'm going to be over there, and I know, RV Nana, you and I'll probably be doing some Facebook Lives on Friday and Saturday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about safety a little bit, because, the other day I'm driving down the road, and this Class A comes up behind me, and I'm doing 70, and he's right on my tail, and I slowed down and pulled around. And he pulls around me, and he's towing a vehicle. He's doing 75 miles an hour. He's got his little tow vehicle behind him. And I'm thinking, good Lord, if he had to slam on the brakes, I'd be a goner, and so would he.
Whether it's in front of an RV or the RV moving or people who cut in front of these 18-wheelers, we'd all be goners. We really would. But there is a product that's been on the market since 1996. It's the number one selling portable braking system in the industry, and it's called Brake Buddy. It is a fantastic product. I am not even going to begin to tell you that I know everything there is to know about it. It is basically, the gist of it is it's going to control that vehicle that is behind it and take the weight off of the RV. That's what it amounts to. It's a matter of safety for the consumer. And that's really what it's all about, is being safe.
This week I saw one of your Facebook videos. Boyd had along with Jeff Hostetler, had done this great video on the Brake Buddy, and I learned a lot by watching that video. And folks, the Brake Buddy, it weighs less than 10 pounds, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm just going to kind of describe as best as I can, but imagine you're sitting in the car that you're towing, okay? It's up on the trailer, or you're towing it. This Brake Buddy would fit underneath your legs, where you'd be touching the brake pedal and the accelerator, and so it fits between the seat and the brake pedal. And it is the coolest thing ever. It is automatic, and it knows when it needs to stop. And I don't know how it works, but the demonstration there, the video, was pretty impressive, Diane, I'm telling you.
Oh, I encourage everybody to go over to PPL and look at the video, because it is great. And basically, it's going to reduce the distance it takes you to stop. It can make the difference in running into the back of that guy in front of you or not, is what it amounts to. And I talked to Jeff Hostetler this afternoon, about an hour ago, and he has agreed to come on the show and talk and answer all the technical things that RV Nana has no clue about. So,
well, that's, he's obviously watching the video. He's really, really knowledgeable. So that'll be great to have him on. Now, is that something, or the videos like the one that I just watched, is that something that PPL is going to be doing more and more of, or is that just kind of a one-off?
Okay, for those of you who watched it, that was our first one, and I'm so proud of the team. We learned a lot, just like you guys did when you first started the radio show or the Facebook Live. It's something that you learn a lot, but people liked it, and we're hoping to continue this. Our goal is to get a new one out every week, but, the best made plans. You know how that goes.
Heck yeah. And it's about educating the consumer, and that's what it's all about, and you do such a great job of that. In our remaining just a little bit over 2 minutes, RV Nana, tell everybody, I do the bragging for PPL a lot, and sometimes I may go over the top, but y'all are the largest consignment RV dealer in the United States, and that's really saying something.
We are. We're very proud to say that we're the largest RV consignment dealer. We've been in business since 1972, and we sell about 2,500 motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels a year. And what is exciting is we help people enter and exit the RV lifestyle. We're there to fill a need. We help that new buyer, but there's people who have to change and go to another chapter in life at times, and we're there to help them too. So.
And the cost is so reasonable. I mean, it's unbelievable, folks. If you look at the cost of running an ad, think about selling an RV on your own. I mean, anybody that has done it knows exactly what I'm talking about. It is a pain in the rear end. You know, ads are expensive, and the people don't show up. And when the guy or gal does show up, you don't know what kind of a person they are, and then they may not qualify. And PPL does all of that for you. They take care of the unit, and they charge. It's 10%, isn't it? And you don't get paid. You get paid after you sell it.
That's right. There's no charge at all unless we sell it, until we sell it. And we sell about 93% of the vehicles that we list for sale. So that's awesome. And, you know, we encourage you to come out, call us. We'll help you through the whole system.
Well, and if you want to buy a used RV, I tell people, you know, the fastest way to educate yourself is to jump on the internet. You know, our previous guest was talking about going to Google University, I think she said, but you jump on the internet, go to pplmotorhomes.com. Your website is just, it's so information filled. You have hundreds of RVs there, and you can learn so much in a short amount of time, can't you?
Oh, definitely. And we started our road trip sale today. It goes on until Monday. Go online, look at the pictures, floor plans, the new 360-degree, videos that we've got, and see what we've got out there.
Awesome. Well, listen, we got to call it there, but I will see you next week at the Houston RV Show. I'm really looking forward to doing some Facebook Lives over there and saying hi to everybody. So
sounds great. I'm looking forward to it, Alan. Bye, guys.
Thank you. You take care. That's RV Nana with PPL Motorhomes, and I want to encourage everybody, even if you don't sell your RV through PPL, at least check them out. Give it a thought, because at some point you're probably going to say, you know what, let's give RV Nana a yell. All right, I'm going to close out the hour after this with one of my favorite super game recipes. Y'all hang on, be right back. Say, how would you like us to sing?
I didn't say super, the other word. I said super game.
Yes, you
recipe.
did. You did say super game. But it's still, you can, I think that's kind of different enough. Big game.
The big game.
The big game.
The big thing that people don't all stand up and sing the national anthem
the big
for.
game. Just do the big game.
All right, I can do that.
It's perfectly fine to say the big game.
All right.
My goodness. So, Katie, Miss Katie gave her a rare comment. She showed up today.
Yes.
Made a comment. That's something she doesn't always do very often.
Yes. All right, so this is a short break, everybody.
3 minutes.
In a commercial break. If you want a chance to win one of these RV Show USA T-shirts, Big Chief RV Resort T-shirts,
yes.
All you got to do is start making comments, post questions.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So obviously you and I are not eligible.
Steve, I promise you, I sent the T-shirts. I promise.
Okay.
And
so you and I are not eligible to win.
No.
Miss Katie and Miss Lisa are not eligible to win.
They both have them. I charged them. I gave them 10%
Diana
off.
is not eligible to win.
No.
But Miss Audrey is eligible to win.
Absolutely, she is.
So,
yes.
Okay, very good.
I let Lisa and Miss Katie have one of these Big Chief T-shirts for 10% off.
There you go. Hey, friends and family discount right there, right?
10% off.
Because, again, they're the RV Show USA T-shirts that just happen to promote Big Chief RV and Camping Resort right there.
All right, so where y'all watching from? There's my buddy Al Pierce. Al,
Yep.
did you see I was holding up my cigars that you sent me the other day? I have not opened them yet. I threatened to light one up, fire one up for the big game.
The big game.
The big games.
Big
I'm
game.
not going to use the word Super Bowl anymore, because that would be the wrong thing to use. But see, this is not going on the radio. This is
it's not.
commercial, so
No,
I can
that's
say
fine.
I can say Super Bowl.
But yeah,
That's
I
just
guess.
insane.
Just remember, it's Alan Warren.
Hello,
Goose
Lisa
has nothing
Horner
to do with that.
and
I've warned you.
Jose, you're new, and Lisa, I haven't seen y'all before. Janet, we got Janet from Kentucky. Hey, Janet.
And Miss Lee
And,
hasn't received her shirt either.
Okay, you know what, Lee, I got your shirt back in the mail. It said undeliverable.
All right, 30 seconds.
Okay, we got 30 seconds. But Steve, I promise I sent yours. I think you had, was it 2 of them? I think
So
two
do you
of them.
send it
Because you
UPS or
had
FedEx?
shared.
Do you
What?
send it UPS or FedEx?
Just regular postal.
No,
Yeah.
always get some type of tracking in there.
Well, they gave me a tracking number, and I just got to dig out the receipt.
Okay.
All right, here comes a recipe. Y'all hang on. It's a good one.
All right, so great recipe for the big game as the RV Show USA rolls on.
The RV Show USA.
And once again, a great big howdy to our new listeners tuned into WYCL 1540 AM in Youngstown, Ohio. We appreciate y'all for having us become a part of your family. If you've not yet done so, we invite you to subscribe to our email newsletter. Give us a like on Facebook. Our website address all put together, thervshowusa.com. Make sure you put the word "the" on it, thervshowusa.com. In the Facebook search bar, type in The RV Show USA and give us a like. We will not bombard you with a bunch of junk. We don't sell your info to anybody. And you can remove yourself from our email list if you ever want to. All right, so here are 2 of my favorite snacks to make, serve, and consume for the big game, or for any other occasion, actually, when it's okay to binge for about 3 hours without feeling guilty, right? All right, first, this one is real easy. I mentioned a little bit ago, it is the world's best pretzel recipe. The best, I don't even like pretzels, except these are the world's best pretzels, hands down. All right, your ingredients, obviously, pretzels, but I like the long, thick pretzels, the ones that are like a big chief pencil, you know, kind of thick like your finger. The long, straight, thick pretzels, I'll tell you why in a second. You need to get some Hidden Valley Ranch powdered dressing, powdered Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. Just stay with me. A gallon of this Act liquid popcorn butter. All right, it's a liquid butter they use at movie theaters. And I understand they may be hard to find that butter, so they make Orville Redenbacher. They have a butter, and evidently the reviews are pretty good. Then you get a little tin pan like you'd cook a turkey in the oven. You take your pretzels and you break them. Break the pretzels, because, and you'll find out why in a second. And then you pour all the spooty over the top of it, right? Not a gallon of it. You get them all nice and wet, and then you take your Hidden Valley powdered ranch dressing all over, coat it, then add some more to it. 225 degrees for about 40 minutes. You pull them out and let it cool down. And those broken pretzels will suck up that liquid butter, and you can stick one of those things in your mouth and you can watch your cholesterol just start rising and rising and rising. It is the best pretzel recipe ever. I am going to do a YouTube video, I think, and post it in the next day or two before the big game so you can actually see what they look like. I promise you, the world's best. Your cardiologist will love you because you'll be paying for another Mercedes for him, but you will like it. I promise you. Don't want to eat. What?
Does it come with a prescription of Lipitor?
Well, you need Lipitor, Zocor. You do need something. You don't want to do it very often, but I'm telling you, they are really, really good. The other one is they're my cream cheese sausage stuffed jalapenos, and I don't have time to give you that recipe right now, but we're going to give it at the end of next hour. We're going to start off next hour with my friend Keith Coast, who is also, he's everything. He's a full-time RVer. He's an entertainer. He's a musician. He's a comedian. He's a man of faith. He's a great guy who travels all over the place. And we're going to find out about what Keith does, and then we're going to go and find out about this RV technology for security systems that's going to be on display at the Houston RV Show. All right, I'm getting the signal from Goose. Goose, get the boys. Y'all get us out of here and get us into hour number 2.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America. Let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV across this.
All right, y'all. Am I on the that mic or this one? No, I'm on the microphone. All right, so we've got 1 hour down, 1 in the can. Has anybody just joined us? I mean, we have people come and go all the time, We appreciate y'all being with us. This is the RV Show USA. This is our long break. This is at the top of the hour. Here's the deal, if you don't know yet. The RV Show USA is a radio program, but we record it live on Facebook every Wednesday night right here across all these group pages. We record it here, and then we visit with y'all like we're doing now. But during the commercial breaks, we cannot run commercials, so you get to deal with us, and then we can say hi to people like Audrey and Glenn and Dennis and Dave and Patty and Janet and Jose and everybody else. We appreciate everybody for being here. And we can answer some questions and have fun with y'all. But this show will actually run on stations nationally on Saturday and Sunday. So from Daytona Beach in Florida all the way up to Portland, Oregon, and now in Youngstown, Ohio, too. But we've got affiliates all over the place, and we appreciate everybody's support. This is the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle, and we have a lot of fun. You know, we had Audrey Callahan on at the beginning of the hour. What an amazing talent and a wonderful interview. If you did not catch it, you can listen to our podcasts. We're on Google Play and Stitcher and, what is it? Is it iTunes? They call it Apple Podcast. Okay, Apple Podcast. And, or you can go to our website and then download it from there. But Audrey's really great. And then, of course, RV Nana, she's amazing as usual. I want to encourage everybody to check out, if you've got a motorhome and you tow a vehicle behind you, check out that Brake Buddy. It's pretty cool. They've got a video. It's about a 30-minute video, so you're not going to zip right through it, but it's extremely information-filled, and it could save your life or save somebody else's life. Let's see. What do we got? Do you want me to go over that pretzel recipe again? Anyone? Yep, just call it the big game. That's right, PPL. I know. I've been told that. Or else you got to pay money to somebody. And best pretzels ever. Lisa Warren, you are right. Pretzels. Kevin, what's happening, Kevin?
I just don't want lawyers showing up on your doorstep. That's all.
They won't stay very long. All right, let's see. Pretzels in a bottle of Lipitor. I thought you said a bottle of liquor.
No, and thank you for that. Thank you for the ability to make that joke. That was great.
The what?
Well, yeah, because that's where I got the Lipitor thing from.
Oh, from Kevin.
Yeah, from Kevin.
Yeah, but they are the finest. Absolutely. You know what happened was years ago I went fishing with this buddy of mine and we didn't have any food. We were only supposed to stay out a couple of hours. We stayed out all day long. There was nothing to eat. And he goes, well, I've got some pretzels. I said, man, I hate pretzels. He goes, you're going to like these pretzels. I'm not hungry enough to eat a pretzel. I just don't. I'd like the salt off of them and then throw them away. I just don't like them. And he says, you're going to like these. They're the world's best. And so he had a little Ziploc bag full of them. And
Yeah.
I finally got so hungry, I said, I'll take one.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Were they good?
the best pretzels in the world, but you got to break them when you make them. Because pretzels are shiny. They've got like this
Yes.
shiny coat.
Yes, they did.
And the oil won't soak into them.
No,
like
they
butter.
won't.
So you want that butter. That butter has to flow, coursing through your veins and your arteries, right? I mean, if it's going to really do its job.
Oh, Lord.
It's like when you go to the movie, you know? You go to a lot of movies.
But I don't eat popcorn.
Oh, come on.
I get a drink and maybe some candy, and I'm good. But maybe
I
some
just
candy.
sit
I
there
don't
with
get
my
candy every
thumb
time.
on that button.
Yeah, no.
By the time I get out of there, I need a big towel to wipe off all the...
So
Okay, forget about that.
So remember back when we had the new theme song, and I would do my homage to Call Me Al,
Yeah.
and we have not been doing that.
Yes.
I have at least now 2 people that say that they like it when I do that.
And there's no way. I might believe one, maybe, but I can't believe 2 people
Yeah.
would ever do that.
Melissa and Miss Lisa.
Oh, yeah, I believe Lisa would ask that. Barbie Brown. And
So
we got
there you go.
Barbie, we got Mary, Curtis. I don't know who that is. We got Ann. Lots
Oh, and
of
apparently
folks, so-
your Miss Katie thinks I should do campground karaoke.
We'll do it. Come on.
You want me to do it
Do
during
it-
a
do it
break or
right
during
now.
the show?
Do it right
Okay.
now.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America. Let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're riding in your RV across
Rolling
this
in your RV
across this great land.
So buckle up now. What do you say?
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
All right.
There we go.
Kevin, we need to boot you, then pass the gas X.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, we have a good time on this Facebook Live.
We do.
do.
All right.
Saw Tom Brady today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Heidi, did you get your T-shirt yet? I sent it out earlier than you may not have got yours yet, but I think Heidi, you won last week. Let me know if you got your T-shirt.
So I'm wondering if Heidi was
wonder if the people at the
deflated
post
after that
office-
experience.
What? Are we getting the T-shirt?
No, of seeing Tom Brady. I wonder if she was deflated after that
Oh,
experience.
ha, ha, ha. All right, we've got to get Mr. Keith Coast on. He's our guest for the top of the hour. No, I'm going to talk about the jalapeno recipe here in a little bit, at the end of next hour.
And by the way, that was my campground karaoke with them. Hey, Keith, this is Goose from the RV Show USA. How's it going? Cool. We're about 40 seconds away from the show starting. Now I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction, then we're going to have you on for 2 segments. Again, the show airs multiple times across the country over the weekend, so, just kind of generic placement. So, like, have a nice day. You don't need to mention what, that is Wednesday or anything like that.
We don't want to date it.
Hi, guys. Hey, how you doing? Good. All right, so we're about 15 seconds away. Hang on, we'll be with you here in just a moment.
I'm going to have to start using somebody other than the U.S. Postal Service, I'm telling you.
UPS or FedEx, man.
All right, 5 seconds, guys. Here we go.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America, let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV across this great land. So buckle up now. What do you say? The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
It's time for hour number 2 of America's only radio show about the RV lifestyle. Syndicated from coast to coast, it's the RV Show USA with Alan Warren, the RV Guy.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
And what a great first hour, huh? Well, you can catch it again commercial-free on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or on our website at thervshowusa.com. All right, Goose, so who is your team? Who you pulling on? Who you pulling for this Sunday?
Can they both lose? Is that an option?
Oh, you're that excited about it, huh?
I have no use for either one of them.
All right, well, I got to tell you, I am not a huge NFL fan anymore, but I will watch the game, most of it, I guess. Until this season, I did not like Tom Brady. I don't know why. I didn't like him. Didn't like the Patriots. Maybe because he's
they're
so
cheaters?
good. Well, no. Maybe because he's so good. He's so talented. Maybe because they win
cheating?
too much. But whatever. But this year I changed my attitude. I really did, and I started learning a little bit about Tom Brady, and I am more than a little bit impressed, and I respect what he does a lot. He is. He's a very, very smart football player, but I've also never been an Eagles fan, never. But they are playing amazing football, and if they can play like they did against the Vikings, it's going to be a really long day for Mr. Brady. Anyway, I know that this is not a sports show, but I wanted to throw out my 2 cents and just pretend like I know something. This is hour number 2 of the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle, where we introduce you to folks that all share the passion and the excitement that RVing can provide. That said, on our guest line is a man that I've been trying to get on the show for more than 6 months. He's a full-time RVer and quite the entertainer. Let's bring up Mr. Keith Coast. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Alan.
You are one tough dude, brother, to get a hold of.
Well, I mean, it just depends on if we have a good signal or not, usually. And I finally, I guess, have a good signal. So here we are.
Well,
good to be on.
I'm really glad that we got you. So we have a couple of segments to visit and a lot of ground to cover. Tell us about RVing first and your family and some of y'all's backstory and how you became full-timers.
Okay, absolutely. Well, So I should mention also, too, I have my wife, Melissa, here with us.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Melissa.
And honestly, pretty much this is mostly her idea, and I blame her pretty much for everything, and it's been a great thing. So I've been on the road traveling for the last 16 years doing entertainment. I work a lot with churches, schools, nonprofit, corporate organizations that want clean family fun. So I do like comedy mixed with magic and balloons and escapes and all kinds of different things. So I've been traveling all over the world. And, you know, I think, honestly, if I remember correctly, it was after I had just gotten back from Europe. I'd done some stuff in Germany and was in France and the UK for a while. I got back from that trip, and my wife was like, you know, I'm really tired of you doing all this by yourself. So I think we should figure out a way for us to travel more together as a family. We talked about it, and we downsized, we sold our house, and we bought an RV, and here we are over 2 years later.
So, Melissa, this was your idea.
Yes, I have to admit it was.
So is it better than you imagined, worse than you imagined, or just different than you imagined?
You know, I want to say that I had high hopes, and I really felt good about our decision. So it has met all of my expectations. And probably the thing I was most concerned about was whether our children would enjoy it as much as we did. And they have also come around, and, you know, of course, at the beginning, that's a big adjustment, and they weren't quite sure, but they've all come to really enjoy traveling and seeing things and visiting our friends all over and making new friends. So it has turned out to be a really good decision, and it's met our expectations and then some.
Well, you know, I just think that sometimes fate has a crazy way of putting people together. And you know, Keith, when you came up to the office there at Big Chief, Lisa and I happened to be in the office, and we're not there all the time, but you came in, and there was something that just, you and I clicked, and I thought you had such a cool story. Tell us about what you do to make a living. I know you said you travel a lot. Give us an example of what you do, Keith.
Well, everybody always asks me exactly what I do for a living. Like my parents, the TSA, the FBI, the IRS, they're always interested. So, like I was saying before, I do family-style entertainment. I love to make people laugh. So, kind of like the three different things that I do, you know, maybe it's for, you know, like I did a conference this week out in California. My job there was literally just to have fun and make people laugh and have a good time. Then there's times when I go into schools. I do a lot of elementary and middle schools. And for those, I do kind of mix in character qualities, you know, about honesty, teamwork, having pride in yourself, watching the words we say, how we treat each other, respect, that sort of thing. And then, of course, when I get to do stuff for churches, I get to share my faith. I get to share Bible stories in a fun and interesting way, and get to tackle it from that angle. And, of course, when I met you, I believe that I was in Burnet, Texas, at Hill Country Fellowship, and I was doing like their summer camp for their kids. And so every day I'd go in and I was doing, you know, bringing Bible stories and playing games and just doing this. And, yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that's kind of what I do.
I just, you know, I went and I saw your YouTube channel, and I've watched some of your stuff. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But in today's world, and I'm not trying to sound like an old, you know, angry old guy, but it's hard to find good, clean entertainment and family fun where you're not embarrassed to take your family someplace to watch somebody, a comedian, perform. That's just the truth.
It is. No, it's very true. And it's really funny because, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I grew up in church. My dad was a preacher. It still is, actually. And so, like, I guess I only grew up with clean family entertainment, right? So that's just kind of what I grew up with, and that's kind of what I went into. But it's really amazing to me how many doors it's opened up because, you know, I don't curse during the shows or tell dirty jokes or, you know, any inappropriate things. And what's really great is that God gave me a sense of humor that kind of transcends generations. So kids, teenagers, parents, grandparents, like everybody can have a good time. And it is kind of rare find that to where everybody can have a good time.
How do you communicate? Give me an example of when you're talking to an elementary school or maybe a middle school and you're talking about bullying and how do you connect with these kids such an important message while you're kind of joking around? I mean,
Yeah. So, good question. So let's take bullying, for example. The one I like to use the most is our words and how our words, like a lot of times I'll do like a toothpaste race, and I have kids squeeze all this toothpaste out as fast as they can, and then I have them try to put it all back in the tube. And that's an illustration of, once toothpaste leaves the tube, it ain't going back in. You can't get it back. Well, our words are the same way. Once they come out of our mouth, we can't take them back. And we have to be careful. We have to use our words for good and not for evil. And so, we talk about how we, I use balloons also for that. And, that's on the topic of bullying. We talk about laughing. You know how laughing is I do what's called laugh lessons. I teach them how to laugh, which is really silly. It's just something just goofy and silly, but it makes people laugh. And then I just kind of segue from that. It's like, laughing is good and laughing is fun, but there's one time when we shouldn't laugh, and that's when we're making fun of other people, and when we're making fun of other people, that can hurt their feelings, and we don't want that because everybody's been in that position. So we talk about, a good way to laugh and a way to use laughter to hurt others' feelings. So we just kind of bring it up, because everybody's done it. Everybody's been there. Everybody's made fun of other people, and everybody's been made fun of. So just try to take topics that everybody can relate to. And with kids, it's got to be simple.
Reading some things on your website, I know that you have a lot of encore performances. You get invited back year after year to speak to these groups.
Yeah.
It must make you feel good to know that you're able to communicate with people in such a positive, uplifting, clean way and really connect with them that they want you back every year.
Yeah, it is. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed. I mean, it's just, and because of that, I have to constantly be developing new material. I'm constantly having to come up with new routines, new jokes, and that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, I just did a conference, and they were like, usually we switch it up every year, but we would really like to work with you again, but can you switch it up? And I'm like, absolutely, not a problem. So, yeah, it does, I guess, job security, I guess.
There you go. Well, listen, Keith, we got to jump for a hard break. We'll be back, pick it up on the other side. Folks, we're visiting with my friend Keith Coast. You can connect with him through our website, or you can go to YouTube and just type in his name, Keith Coast. Going down to the coast and taking a vacation. Keith Coast. We're going to be back with Keith right after this. I want to take a minute and do a little bragging on my friends at PPL Motorhome.
Okay. Dave Stone has a question.
Okay, Alan Warren might have an answer.
When will this be a daily show?
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen, Dave.
What?
Truthfully, we could probably do a daily show. I mean, probably.
We could have RV Nana Fridays.
We could. There's enough to talk about. There is so much cool stuff, wonderful, interesting people to talk with. I think, we had Audrey Callahan, Keith Coast, RV Nana. We've got
Travel Trailer Tuesdays.
There you go.
Motorhome Mondays.
Where are we going Wednesday?
Yeah, exactly.
We could do it.
That would be the great part to have our feature destination this weekend on Wednesday.
I don't want another paper route. As a kid, paper route, you got to get up early. You got to do it every time. And I'm sorry, I don't feel like it don't work. So, and plus, we do this at a decent hour, Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Most people are awake by now. Most people aren't, 3 sheets to the wind, if they do that kind of thing.
Well, we know one person who might be at this point, but
So want to remind everybody, we're giving away some of these T-shirts. If you'd like an opportunity to win, you need to post questions or comments right down here. And then at the end of the show, we're going to raise some numbers up in front of the camera. You got to write those numbers down. And then if your comment is the closest to that number without going over, you win the prize.
So Dennis Owens says we have his vote to do a daily show.
Oh. Tell you what, Dennis, you do a daily show and I'll listen, okay? It's
the interesting part is he did a daily show for a while, and that's why he looks the way he is. He's actually only 30.
Yeah, I'm only 30 years old. I just look 70. No, A daily show. Actually, I have thought about it before, but if I can't make any money doing it, I ain't gonna do it. I mean,
Oh yeah. Aren't we all that way?
I mean, I like to make a dollar.
If I could produce radio and it pay the bills, I'd
Yeah.
do it in a heartbeat. But
absolutely.
it is what it is, man. Steve says his wife would kill him if we did a daily show. Okay, so we cannot, for the sake of Steve, we have to only do this once a week because we like Steve and we want him to be around for a really long time.
We don't want to lose him every day.
No, not at all.
There's overkill. Yeah, seriously, I think there's overkill. Once a week, pretty good. It used to be back in the old days, you had on the NFL football games, you had football on Sundays, a couple of games.
And then Mondays.
And then you had it on Mondays. And then you got every stinking day.
You got Thursdays.
And, it's just all over, and there's just too much. It's just overload. It's like reality shows. There's too much of too many things, and I don't like it. It's like Christmas. I want Christmas once a year, not every day of the year.
So if somebody wants to Photoshop Alan on a bike a half size too small delivering papers, I'd love to see that too.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. If you have Photoshop skills, head over to the Big Chief RV and Camping Resort or RV Show USA website. Have some fun with that, please. And plus, we do some Facebook Lives here and there during the week. So, yeah. All right, so we got Keith coming up next.
We got 20 seconds, guys.
We got Garrett in the bottom, starting off the bottom
Garrett's
of the hour.
going to be fabulous. You guys, if you're into technology, hang on till the bottom of the hour. You're going to love this guy. You're going to want his toys, I promise.
All right, so hang on, guys. More with Keith when we return as the RV Show USA rolls on.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
And we're back. Alan Warren with the RV Show USA and my buddy Keith Coast, who's an entertainer and performer extraordinaire. If you go to YouTube, you can check him out and see all the crazy stuff he does to entertain young people and not so young people all over the planet. So, Keith, I want to know, I saw a video. I think it's got to be your trade trick. Tell everybody about the balloon,
I think I know where you're going with this.
The balloon.
Yeah, I had a feeling that might get brought up. So I get inside of a giant balloon, and I bounce around, and I make balloons inside of a giant balloon. And then sometimes I do the chicken dance while I'm inside the balloon, Alan, because that's what people want to see.
It's crazy. I'm sitting there. How does the air stay inside it? I just don't know how you do it. I know you can't tell us the real story, but you know what? You are a natural. Were you ever hesitant about getting up and performing in front of all these people? Because it seems like you just eat it up, man.
It's interesting. I guess I was just kind of like my whole life I've been on stage. Like I said before, my dad is a pastor, so I grew up in church. So I was always in children's choir or doing some sort of skit or drama. And, then I started, playing guitar and, playing in the worship team. And then in school, I was doing dramas and also in choir. And I've been on stage pretty much most of my life, I guess. So it feels, I guess, very natural for me to be on stage and in front of people, and I feel relaxed. I mean, still, I still have nerves. I think you still got to have nerves, but definitely it's a place where I do feel comfortable.
And when you get through, I mean, I'm just curious, when you get through performing and you see the smiles on people's faces, how does that make you feel inside?
Inside, I feel very fulfilled. Also, I feel exhausted. So it's it's a good feeling. I think what happened for me years ago is that I think where it really hit home, Alan, is I got this email from a kid. And this was a long time ago. It was after I'd been doing the big balloon routine for maybe a year or two. And this kid sends me an email and he says, "Mr. Keith, I just wanted to thank you for getting inside the big balloon." He said, "My dad was there, and it's the first time I've seen him smile in 6 months since my mom passed away." And I was like, oh, my gosh, that was just really, really heavy. And, I mean, like, this is a kid that, helped me to see and helped me to realize that laughter is really powerful medicine. And I get all the time people come up to me saying, thank you so much. I haven't laughed that hard. Thank you for what you do. Or, I've heard all kinds of things, and it's always encouraging. I mean, it definitely encourages me to keep doing it and keep going on.
Why do you think your messages are able to connect with young people, for example, in a way that maybe, sitting in Sunday school or listening to a teacher in the class, they're not able to do it? Why are you able to do that? And what is it that sounds like there's some magic there that takes place?
Well, my dad, I give a lot of credit to my dad for a lot of things. And my dad's a very wise and he's a very smart man. And as a pastor, he always told me, he said, son, he said, if you can make it easy enough for a child to understand, everybody can understand it, but make it fun. And if you can make it fun, it makes it more memorable. And that's really I just try to make it very simple. And I think all of my messages, whether it's for schools or for churches or, just even having fun, I think just being a good person in general, being nice to one another, just be encouraging, And so the topics that I do, I always tell people the stuff that I go into is not deep. It's very practical in ways that we can help make this world a better place.
No, I think you
and I
do.
Think people do relate to that.
You touch so many people in the videos. I see them laughing and just hysterically laughing, some of them, and probably letting go and doing things that they haven't done in a long time. Tell us about going back to RVing. I know that you and Melissa are full-time RVers. How many kids do you have, and are they homeschooled, or how do you talk to us about the family life, if you will?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this over to Melissa and let her answer some of this too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So we have 3 kids. Our oldest is a 16-year-old. He's our son, and we have a middle daughter who's 13, and then we have a youngest son who's 10 years old. And we do homeschool. You brought that up. We had already been homeschooling before we started the RV life, and that's why it was a pretty good way to transition, knowing that we wouldn't have to worry about that part. We'd already gotten a few years of homeschooling under our belt. And honestly, I was really looking forward to the idea of traveling, just adding to our school experience, because instead of reading about places and books and learning about historical sites, we could actually go show them the things that they had been learning about. We also kind of made that a point of helping our kids kind of be excited about this idea of traveling, was that they could sit down with me and pick out some places in the United States they wanted to see for themselves, and then go take them on those places. That was kind of one of our goals for the first year on the road, was to hit a couple of places that our children have picked out themselves and that they wanted to go see, and we made that happen. And I think that helped really get them on board and really excited about what we really could do if we were free from a house and in our RV on the road.
Now, Melissa, did you RV and camp when you were a child, or did Keith and y'all were, grew up RVing and camping, and that's how you ended up going into it, or how'd that happen?
Well, it's funny. I did not grow up doing a whole lot of that. I grew up in a little town in Ohio, and we didn't have a whole lot of money, and so we didn't do much vacationing. So, when I married Keith, his family, they had done a lot of camping.
Yeah.
You want to tell them about your camping fun?
We had all kinds. We started off with a tent, and then my dad came home with I think it was like a 1973, just a pull-behind bumper trailer. I don't even know what it was. And we drug that thing to Colorado, and we were sitting by a campfire one night, Alan, and we heard something rustling behind the trailer, and it was a bear. And we all ran into the trailer, and we watched the bear dig through the trash from the safety of our RV, and he put his paws up on the RV and shook the RV. I'm not making this up. He had muddy bear prints on the outside. My dad was so proud of him. And he had actually slashed the tire cover with his claws.
Wow.
And my dad was so proud of that. And when we came home, it had blown off. And my dad, I think he almost cried that day, actually.
Did he ever wash the RV, or did he just want to keep that mud print, paw print?
Do you ever wash an RV, Alan? No. The answer's no, right? I mean, Yeah, the best friend's
tell
still
us
there,
the
I think.
story, because you kind of briefly touched on it the other day, Keith, about it. You really incorporate the kids into making your decisions where y'all go. I just think that is so cool. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, we're a family, and we actually kind of like we call ourselves the Coast 5 Adventure. And as a matter of fact, we have a Patreon that people can support. They actually kind of help us make decisions as well. But everybody has input because it's not just us. And, you know, we only have a few more years left with our kids, and I want them to see everything. And our goal, number one, is that they visited all 50 states. Right now we're at 45 states. We're only lacking 5.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I think we're lacking, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, and Hawaii.
Keith, we're lacking time. I got to wrap it up. I got 10 seconds to go. We're going to connect. We're going to put a link over to you from our site. We got to get you back on again soon, okay? Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Y'all hang on. Be right back. Well, the Big Chief's gone crazy at Lake Buchanan with this great deal for radio listeners looking for a
smile. He's always happy, and he's a good man. He's
a
good man.
He's a good guy. Enjoyed having him on, man.
All right, so how many techies do we have out there? Look, this is pathetic.
What?
I mean, it's just
it's all right. Evan, so again, how many of you have had experiences with Class B motorhomes? What are those experiences like?
Has anybody responded on Class B? No Class B.
Not yet.
Really?
But also, we still.
What do you think of Class B motorhomes? No bueno.
Well, somebody has said that they're overpriced.
Okay.
Yeah.
As compared with
Class A's and Class C's, probably, for what you get for the money.
Well, it depends on what you want.
Exactly.
It depends
but
on what you
also,
want.
we want your big game recipes, too. Nothing makes a good recipe like sharing it. So let us know what you like to snack on and how to make it when the big game rolls around this Sunday.
I'm going to give you one of my favorite recipes. I already did the pretzel deal. I'm going to give you the cream cheese with sausage stuffed jalapenos. And that's a real good one. Your cholesterol won't go up as much, though, but they're really good. You may not like it the next morning, though.
It's one of those, is it now?
Well, if you eat 30 of them like I do, it is.
Oh, Lord. I'm sure those pretzels don't do your stomach any favors either.
No, they make it large.
Oh,
I haven't had those pretzels in a long time. I just started thinking about them the other day, and whenever I would go hunting, I would always make those pretzels and take them with me, and and just as a snack.
If I hadn't already committed to time with my sister this Sunday, I'd probably.
So here's what they look like. Here's what I'm going to do a video on this.
I need to call. I need to make a phone call.
We'll make a phone call. So these pretzels, when you pour the liquid butter over them, and you first off, you got to get the liquid butter, the Hidden Valley Ranch powdered dressing. You might, if you like cayenne pepper, maybe if you like dill. I don't like it, but I get the fat around straight pretzels and break.
Let me show you how's it going.
Break. I pour the liquid butter over them in a pan,
so
like you're going to cook a turkey in.
You
don't flood the thing.
So when we come back,
get them
we'll have you on for a 6-minute segment.
Sprinkle the stuff on top of the Hidden Valley Ranch dressing, roll them around, sprinkle some more.
My name is Goose, and then Alan Warren's going to be the guy talking to you when we come back on the air.
For about 40 minutes, maybe.
Not a problem. So this show's going to air at different times over the weekend.
You pull them out of the oven.
We don't want to date it per se, so don't mention.
Those pretzels are so coated, it looks like they're coated with Vaseline. But it's liquid.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And it is so good. And like I said, you need a Lipitor, pretzel Lipitor, pretzel Zocor, pretzel, After you get done, you gotta go see your cardiologist. But they are really good.
Yeah.
All right. Yep, the powdered Hidden Valley Ranch dressing.
Here we go. Oh no, 1 minute. We got 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute to go.
Yeah. So, oh man, yeah, between that and Lisa's mashed potatoes. My goodness.
Yeah, Lisa makes the world's best mashed potatoes. But I'm going to do 2 Facebook Lives before the big game on Sunday. And y'all can watch them on our Facebook page.
And Pedro's going to guest star in them, too.
Pedro likes those Facebook Lives. He does.
Good old Pedro. My goodness.
Y'all get ready to have your minds blown. If you like smartphones, if you like technology, if you like what your smartphone can do, you're going to love what this guy has to tell you.
So you're in for the cheaters on Sunday, huh?
It don't matter. You know who I'm going to be fans with? Whoever brings the most amount of good stuff.
There you go. Yeah. I'm just hoping for a good game. That's all I want, really.
I got a cough, bad.
All right, here we go.
The RV Show USA.
All right, we're back with the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle. I'm Alan Warren, the RV guy, with another big old shout out to our newest affiliate up in Youngstown, Ohio, 1540 AM WCYL. Hope you Buckeyes are enjoying today's show. On last week's program, we talked a little bit about RV security systems, and in particular about how far some of those security systems have come for those who RV. And that's what we're going to be talking about, is security systems, but not simply a system that sets off an alarm if somebody tries to break in, a system that is a whole lot more. So if you're into technology and gadgets and really cool stuff that you're going to love, hang with us, because our buddy Garrett Auclair is on the RV Show USA guest line to tell us about it. Hi, Garrett.
Hey, Alan, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. So I guess when I said security system, that's like calling a Ferrari just a car, huh?
Exactly. I mean, really, this whole system is really putting security on your terms with people in the RV world for the first time. So I'm really excited about it, to talk about it tonight with you.
Well, you know, when our friend Scott Thompson from DeMontrond called me, I guess it was last week, and he was telling me about your system, I don't think I had ever heard him more excited about anything. I'm like, man, I got to find out more about it. So there's a lot for us to wrap our brains around. Tell us about what you do, what the system is called, and kind of give us the basics, because and try to keep it simple, Garrett, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, we're kind of seeing all this advertisement all over the marketplace, you know, security, Ring doorbell, Nest thermostat, and we're all, you know, seeing it on the marketplace, but we really don't understand it. And so if anything, Jax has brought security, home automation, put it on one platform, made it very user-friendly, made it at an affordable price for you. And we really put it back on your terms, and we're educating the consumer, like the RV people that have never had security. So, you know, when you go out RVing, you know, sometimes this is your investment, this is your second home, and we bring a lot of valuables with us. And, you know, we're out in the park, and, you know, we're thinking about, hey, that kayak that we left out, you know, what happens if somebody takes that? Or our bicycle that we left out? You know, so we can put tilt sensors on those things. We can automate your bus to turn lights on if somebody opens the door in the middle of the night. We can adjust the thermostat. We have heat, freeze, flood sensors, you know, to keep an eye on things that may go leaking in your camper when you're not there. So, you know, this is just a taste of things that you can do, but there's possibilities are absolutely endless, Alan.
Well, let's back up a little bit, because you mentioned the Ring doorbell thing. I've seen those commercials, I don't know, hundreds of times. I think we probably all have. That's, how does your, it's called the Jax, is J-A, spell it for me?
It is JAQX, and we are one hub that puts security and home automation all on one platform. So, you know, you don't have an app for this, an app for that. We've all put it all on one platform, and it's an ingradable system, so you can integrate products as you grow out your system and you grow out your bus as well.
Now, one of the concerns that I've got, Garrett, is that, you know, I see these, you know, people sell pet cams where you can, you know, watch your pet when you're gone or whatever, and the Alexa little boxes, you know, the Amazon boxes that you can tell Alexa to play a certain song. And every one of those, I'm concerned about losing my privacy, that somebody can just hack in and make, you know, they can look at my dog or listen to what we're talking about. Talk to me about that. Is that a valid concern on my part or not?
That is an absolute valid concern, and that comes up all the time because, like I said, it's all over the marketplace, and really the consumer is uneducated about it because it is so new in the marketplace. And Jax is professional-grade security system. It comes from professional-grade alarm dealers, and so this isn't stuff that you can get at Best Buy, Sam's Club, Costco, or any of the places like that. This stuff comes from licensed alarm dealers. And, you know, you talked about people being able to look in and listen on you, and our system has actually got military-grade encryption in. You know, not to get too technical, but it basically has a code that you can't patch. So people say they can hack into your IP address. This is run off of a MAC address, and it's constantly changing. And so let's say we have sensors that, you know, we're on that kayak, and if somebody opens up a sensor, it could trigger an alert. Even if your system's not set, that somebody tampered with your system. And you're not going to find that, buying these systems and trying to build it out yourself. Like I said, this is professional grade stuff, and it is very affordable.
So on some of these, we've got less than a minute to go till we got to jump for the first break, but on some of these cameras, you got monitors in a baby's room or a pet camera or the Ring doorbell. I'm not trying to bash any of these, but a lot of those, it sounds like to me, somebody, if they had the knowledge, could hack into them. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And the beauty of our cameras is, they don't eat up your bandwidth, and the way that they work is, like I said, they run off that MAC address, and so they're actually encrypted to your hub. And so you could take your camera, you could go into an RV, campground, and if there was Wi-Fi, you could set it up. It's linked to your hub through the internet, and it has that military-grade encryption.
Listen, we got to jump for a real quick break, Garrett. We're going to pick it up on the other side. We got people already wanting to know, is it do-it-yourself friendly? What is the cost? And so much more. Plus, we're going to find out where you're going to have it set up. I know where it's going to be set up next weekend over in Houston, but we're going to talk about that. So hang on, folks. This is the RV Show USA. We'll be right back. I want to take a minute and do a little bragging on my friend.
This is so heady of stuff. It's just like,
but it's very cool.
When I spoke with Garrett the other day, he said that if you've got a smartphone, and you've got the system hooked up in your RV, you can turn on the lights in that RV.
Yes.
You can turn on the air conditioning, you can turn it off. You can look in the camera, you can see what's going on in the RV. You have you can put these tilt sensors, I think he called them, and other things. Imagine this. What if you have one of these little sensors, and they don't cost very much, and you put it where your hot water heater is, where your water lines are, where a lot of times you get a water leak in an RV. What if you had an alert, went off on your telephone, you're at your house, and your RV is at the storage lot, water line froze and broke, and now it's leaking. You get notified now instead of go there 2-3 months later and you find out, hey, guess what? You got water damage.
So we have a lot of people asking about the website, so let's leave that off when we come back.
Leave what off?
No, let's leave that off.
Oh.
So ask them, what's, where people can find it, website, how to spell it, things like that, just to make sure.
It's J-A.
Or if you want to include in the chat, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Let me copy and paste.
Yeah,
I'm going to do this right here, guys. We got another couple minutes.
because we want to make sure that you guys are informed and can access these folks if you're in the market. Of course, we want to be here as a help, not a hindrance to you living that RV dream today. So there you go.
Okay, there's a link to the site. Hopefully, if I did it right. Did it come up?
Oh, it came up I'm not going to go check yet because I'm monitoring the show.
Okay.
But guys, there's a link in the chat. Make sure that it is a viable link. If not, let us know. We can fix it. Again, Garrett from Jax is home with us. He's on with us. He's a great. So far he was great.
Yeah.
Has a
let me tell you
wealth
something.
of knowledge
Here's the
regarding
deal.
these things.
Garrett is young, okay, and he's smart. And for somebody that's old like me, I gotta have him go slow. Well, here's what's happening at the Houston RV Show this next weekend. Garrett is outfitting an RV from our buddies at DeMontron, an Allegro coach, beautiful motor coach.
Yeah, because we talked to Scott last week.
And he's outfitting this whole coach with the Jax system. So you can go there and you can actually touch it, see it. You can move the barbecue pit or pick up the bicycle or watch the lights turn on and off. And you can actually touch it, see it, sense it. And that's what I got to do to get my brain wrapped around it. It's so out there. Young people, I think, can understand it, but an old guy like me or an old gal may have a difficult time.
Yeah.
He said that when he's on his phone, he can do this. He said, push this. He says, it's like showing somebody fire for the first time. He says they just want to play with. They just want to play with it.
Or in your case, Facebook Live.
Yeah, Facebook Live for the first time. Bill Harmon, haven't seen you in a while, Bill. All right, good. Thank you, Michael.
So everything's working.
Appreciate
The link is good. The link is good.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Coming back in about 45, 40 seconds.
So you're going to head over to the Houston RV Show on Wednesday next
No,
week?
I'm going on Friday.
Going in on Friday.
I'll be there Friday morning, Friday and Saturday, maybe Sunday, probably not Sunday.
Okay.
But Friday and Saturday, hanging out at PPL
that's
at
NRG Center in
NRG
Houston.
Center. Y'all need to come out. I mean, if you're in the area, it's a beautiful place. A beautiful big facility, lots and lots of RVs, friendly people. I may have some pretzels left.
They're going to be good by then.
They'll be gone by then.
All right, so Garrett from Jack's Security joins us next as we continue with him as the RV Show USA rolls on.
RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
And we're back on the RV Show USA with a little tech talk, I guess, on the latest in smart technology and how RVers are embracing it. My guest is, he's an expert on today's smart technology. And Garrett, for those who may have just tuned in, can you provide maybe a little 60-second overview of what kind of technology is now available for people that own RVs?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Alan, and welcome back, everyone. Tonight we're talking about putting smart home technology and security into RVs and really putting it on your terms. And so, if anything, JAQX, J-A-Q-X, is the ability to plug into the smart home revolution and security as well, all under one app and one hub. And so you can control the lights in your RV. You can turn, set scenes where you walk into the RV and it becomes alive. You could adjust the thermostat. You could put tilt sensors outside your RV at night, so if somebody wants to mess with that kayak or those expensive lawn chairs that all the RVers have, you can get an alert and set the security system off. We can also put cameras in there, and we also have military-grade encrypted cameras so that these cameras cannot be hacked. And so now you can take cameras, put them anywhere throughout your bus. You could be out at the park for the day, and you could look back in your bus, checking on your pets, make sure the thermostat's cool for them, turn the lights on for the dogs, talk to the dogs, whatever you would like to do. But really, if anything, JAQX, like I said, is one platform, one app, and putting security and home automation on your terms in the RV world.
What is the cost? I mean, it sounds like it would cost a fortune.
It does sound like it would cost a fortune, especially where we've seen it in the movies, people doing this for years. But if anything, we've made expensive and confusing affordable and simple for you. And so, we have 3 plans to pick from. Our top 2 plans are a 3-year contract. Our most expensive plan is $69 a month, gets you about $2,000 worth of equipment. And, that's only $199 up front. And then we also have a smaller plan that is $49 a month, and we also have a month-to-month option as well, and that is $44.99 a month. But that one is $399 up front. And so if anything, get the top package, max out your bus, get $2,000 worth of equipment, $199 up front, and you're going to get ready for the road for this summer and have security and home automation in your bus. And you're going to be the talk at the new RV. So.
How difficult is this is it a do-it-yourself project? Because I know a lot of people say, oh, yeah, it's a do-it-yourself project, and then you can't do it yourself because it's too hard.
Yeah. So when I first got this system, I was thinking the same thing. I'm not that technically inclined, but if anything, I always teach people to embrace the technology because if you can download an app, you can install a world-class security system because the beauty of it is like I talked about, that world-class security system. So everything is encrypted to your hub at the facility before it ships. It's linked to the system, and then when you get your app and your hub at your house or wherever you reside in your motorhome, you pull up the app, download it, and everything that you order is going to show up there. Simply pull the tab, stick it up, call in to activate, and it's that simple.
Now,
so there's no wires to drill, there's no wires to pull, none of that.
I read somewhere that you've got instead of calling it a do-it-yourself system, that JAQX calls it like a do-it-together system. What is that all about?
Yeah, so if anything, we're trying to get into all these niche markets, and really do-it-yourself is kind of outdated because we know if we try to do it ourselves, sometimes we end up having to ask for help, or we end up getting frustrated, or we never end up doing it all. And so at JAQX, we do it together, and so we're making a whole new category in the DIY space. And doing it together, we can empower, individuals, that are in the camping community to do it together and educate one another and really secure the things that are important to them, because these motorhomes and campers are sometimes, that's their people's retirement, and this is their lives and their second homes. And those are precious commodities to people.
And so are they if I sell my RV and get another one, how hard is it to take out what I put in to put in the new one?
So if you can pull off a 3M little sticker off your wall, and you can pack it up in a box, you can take it to your next RV or whatever you would like to choose to move it to. And that's the beauty of it. It's yours for life, Once you buy it, it's yours. Take it with you. It's got a 5-year warranty on it and a 5-year battery life.
So, okay, real quick, in about a minute and a half, tell us what you're doing at the Houston RV Show with our friends over at DeMontrond.
Yeah, so, I got in since day one with this company, and I was like, I want to bring it to the camper community world. And I was in Houston and got connected with the right people, landed up at DeMontrond at their desk, and Scott, their service manager, was like, dude, I see this. This is a huge need for these people. And I just can't thank him enough because he's really making my dream come true of getting into this world where I grew up as a kid. And I always thought that, is my bike okay at night or whatever you worry about when you're camping. So I want to thank DeMontrond for embracing this technology. And we're going to be putting it in a huge Class A motorhome at the Houston show. And that's something that I want you to touch on, Alan.
Yeah, well, what will I see? Because I first off, besides seeing a gorgeous Allegro Class A, which they're all beautiful, what am I going to actually see? Is your system, the jack system, very bulky at all, or is it pretty much invisible? Can I watch it on your cell phone or maybe an iPad? See what happens when you move a lawn chair? Or
absolutely, we're going to have a bunch of sensors there, some smart pieces. We're going to be putting some lights in and putting some sensors on the lawn chairs and whatever else we have, the compartments underneath the bus. If somebody opens one of them up, I can show them how they can, get an alert on their phone or have it trigger the alarm system to go off. And all of that can be done from a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer. And so really, it's time to secure the bus because the bus has never been secured. And also your camper, your tent, or wherever you reside, even into your home.
And it's inexpensive enough where anybody, it sounds like, can afford it. I have another question. Can you enable the system to notify more than one device? So in other words, if I have the app on my phone, can my wife also have it on hers? So if something were to happen, we both get a notification?
Absolutely. Great question. We have a system that you can add up to 50 users, and we can also set, if you want mom and dad to be the master users where those kids can't turn on the thermostat, or certain features, we can have parental settings as well. So absolutely, 50 users.
That is so cool. How do people get, we got to wrap this thing up, how do people get more information or see demos on the jack system, Garrett?
So if you would like, you could go to www.jax, J-A-Q-X, smart, S-M-A-R-T, life, L-I-F-E.com, and that will give you the website with all the information, and reach out to me and get your any questions that you have, we'll get those answered. But once again, that was jacksmartlife.com.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and try to put a link up on our site over the weekend so people can link over to it from there. Maybe a little bit easier. And I look forward to meeting you at the Houston RV Show real soon, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see everybody and put security on your terms.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Al, for having me on.
All right, Garrett, we'll talk again. All right, folks, one more segment to go. Y'all hang on. This is the RV Show USA. Say, how would you like us to send you a good-looking camp casual coffee?
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool to see it. He said it's like seeing fire for the first time when you see it.
Oh, my goodness.
Is this like the Simply Safe system?
It sounds like it.
It's Tim. I don't know for sure, but this is what I think. I could be wrong. I don't think so. Most of the systems that you see advertised, the Ring doorbell, the Simply Safe, I think that those are I think all those systems work, but I don't think that the security, I don't think that they're encrypted or whatever I would just be afraid that somebody could tap in.
And again, it depends upon the what it's designed for. For instance, Simply Safe is more designed for home security. It's not necessarily going to be as effective in an RV situation because that's not what it's designed for. And you're not going to necessarily get the best use out of it if you use it outside of the design parameters. With Jax, it sounds like it was made specifically for the RV and camper.
Well, I think it was made for home security, but then they modified it with these tilt sensors and all the other stuff that they have. And the military grade encryption thing would make me feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think.
I hope so.
So, all right, this is a short break. Hope y'all have enjoyed the show. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter after the show. It may be tomorrow when I go ahead and post a link up to the Jack system. And again, we're going to be drawing a couple of numbers here in probably, 5 minutes, 8 minutes?
No, like Yeah, it's more like it's 8 minutes.
And we're going to hold them up to the camera. And then we're going to post the show.
Five minutes.
Come back to the Facebook page, click on the video, and click on real-time comments. All right? Scroll down the real-time comments until you see the number that we're going to hold up.
Or it's close to it.
And if you are the closest to that real-time number without going over, you're going to win a T-shirt. All right? The RV Show USA T-shirt, Big Chief on the other side. And I've mailed a bunch of them out so far, and I don't think anybody's gotten them, so I need to check with
That makes me sad.
Well, they'll get there. It's just, U.S. Postal Service. And look at here. Here. There's a survey right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes me sad.
I'm going to make anybody that works with
So we've got, what's the recipe now that we've got coming up?
the cream cheese sausage stuffed jalapeno.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Lord. That just sounds like gastrointestinal distress waiting to happen.
It could be. It depends on how you doctor them up.
Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Be ready to have your innards turn over as the RV Show USA rolls on.
You know, as our regular listeners know, we have a Facebook Live going every single week when we do the show, and we have folks from not just all over the U.S., but we got some people from Europe, even down in Australia, and we got a lot of fun visiting. We do have a lot of fun visiting with everybody during our commercial breaks. Some of the topics we talked about today off the air in the commercial breaks, we talked about Class B motorhomes, and I wondered if anybody even had a Class B or if they were interested in them. For those who may not know, Class Bs are essentially the tiniest motorhomes on the market, but they are incredibly popular right now among like retirees and young couples, folks who do not want to pay a lot of money to leave their RV parked at a big storage lot. You can drive them to the grocery store, park them easily. Mama and Daddy can both drive them. And, if you don't have a big group, they are fabulous, fabulous little units. So in the weeks to come, we may open up the conversation about Class Bs here on the show and really kind of get into them and why they are so red hot right now. I had the pleasure to visit a factory where Class Bs are actually made and an in-depth tour, and I'm telling you, I was blown away. And again, we're going to see if we can get the conversation on Class Bs going on a future show or two, so y'all stay tuned for that. We also talked about some snacks and appetizers for the big game and had some delicious-sounding ideas. We closed out last hour with a recipe for the world's best pretzels. They are, I promise you, they are superb. This hour, here is another one of my favorites, cream cheese sausage stuffed jalapenos. Here goes. All right, grab a couple of blocks of cream cheese. Get a pack of breakfast sausage, like Jimmy Dean sausage, the patty sausage. Grab yourself a bag of fresh jalapenos from the produce department, not canned ones, fresh ones from the produce. And you got to get some food prep gloves. You must have the food prep gloves or you will be very sorry. In a frying pan, you cook up the sausage, kind of like you would ground meat for tacos or whatever. Just brown it, like cook it normally, drain off the grease, put your gloves on, all right? Slice up about 20 whole jalapenos long ways, so you got 40 pieces. Then you take, with your thumb, you scrape out all the seeds and the veins out of it. So you're looking at 40 little shells of jalapenos, right? Still wearing your gloves, you mix the cream cheese and the sausage together. Just mash it all together, all right? Then you stuff those things to the brim. Don't be stingy. Stuff those jalapenos, each one of them. Put them at 375 for about 20 minutes, 375 degrees in the oven for 20 minutes. And I'm telling you, they are unbelievable. And if you want them a little bit hotter, they're not really hot. If you get the seeds out, if you get the veins out, they're not super hot. If you like them hotter, obviously you can leave the seeds in. I'm going to shoot a video, I think, on the pretzels as well as jalapenos, post them on our Facebook page in case you want to see how easy they are to make and what they look like when they're done. All right, Goose is telling me to wrap it up, so that's going to do it for another week. Thank y'all for listening. Until next time, I'm Alan Warren, the RV guy, reminding y'all that the way RVers spell love is T-I-M-E. And we spend that time with those we care about, enjoying the RV lifestyle. All right, Goose, get us out of here.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America, let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV across this great land. So buckle up now. What do you say?
No, okay. Now let's pick our numbers, guys. All right, y'all don't leave now. Hang on. We're gonna pick our winners.
Don't you dare go
Okay, yeah,
anywhere
don't-
yet.
Don't leave. All right.
All right.
I'll pick one. You pick
I got
one.
this one.
All right. So, once again, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold these numbers up. Remember these numbers or write them down.
Yes. Stay here. Hang on. Yeah.
Yep. Hold them.
You
hold them
have-
close. Hold
He
them
picked
close.
45 minutes
Okay,
and 20
hold them
seconds.
both up.
Well, hang on.
You can.
45
Make sure
minutes
they
and
can
20
see it.
seconds into the video today, or 26 minutes
Hold
into
them-
the video.
Hold them up at the same time. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to shut the camera off. We're going to post this Facebook page or the Facebook Live. Come back on and click on real-time comments and look for those two numbers. If your comment is closest to those two numbers, without going over, we're going to send you a T-shirt, all right?
45, 20, and 26.
And we're working on some other great prizes in the weeks to come. Thank you all so much for being a part of tonight's show. We do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video. Tell your friends about us. We'll catch you every Wednesday, hopefully, from
Even
7 to 9.
share it
Central
if you're
Time.
just now tuning in and you didn't get a chance to watch it live. Please share it then as well.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all very much. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next Wednesday. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, the latecomers got no love today.